We've just gotten back from vacation and I have a lot of work that I'm trying to do. And I'm not talking about like housework and chores. Yes, I have all of that, but I'm talking more so about the teacher entrepreneur side. So in this video, I want to share with you guys a little glimpse behind the scenes of what I do here on YouTube, what I do on social media, what I do with my paid membership community that I have, also my private Facebook group that I'm doing with them. And so I'm going to take you along a day in the life of a teacher entrepreneur. There are so many things that go into this, so I wanted to share a little snippet. I'm not going to share all of it, so please don't think that this is everything that a teacher entrepreneur does, because there is so much more that goes into it, but I am going to share with you guys just a little peek into that. So this morning, I have already woken up. I've taken a shower, made myself look semi-okay, so that way I could record this video and also do some Instagram items a little bit later on. I don't want to look rough all the time, so I do attempt to put some effort onto myself. I've also gone through and started checking through emails. Emails is a huge one when it comes to having a business. If you think about like the emails that we get as teachers, on the business side, I probably get like 2 to 3 times as much of that. And this is coming from businesses who want to have sponsorships, collaborations. So we have to go into detail and look into every single one of those, respond to those. It's also answering questions from people within the community, answering questions from viewers. It's just a lot. So we have not really answered questions while we were out on vacation. Rightfully so. I just wanted to spend time with family. So I got caught up on emails this morning. Majority of the time, Trent will do my emails. And he is kind of my like IT tech customer service person, and he will handle a lot of that for me. But today I did go through and wanted to try to get us back to like a 0 inbox. I'm typically the one who will clean out the inbox. He is the one that normally responds to everyone. So I did a little bit of that. I still have some emails to go. It's not completely to an inbox 0, but I am feeling so much better about where it is. So spent some time doing that this morning. And now what I really want to do is work a little on some product creation that I'm doing for the Bridging Literacy community. So I have a private membership, and within this private membership, I am uploading unpacking anchors. And this is where I go into depth about each of the different anchors within literature, informational, and writing, providing resources, mentor texts, and understanding of like how to go about teaching it. So learning targets, everything that you can think of is in this. That's the main core content of what I'm providing for teachers, which is a lot of information. But on top of that, I provide a free lesson plan resource every single month. So I'm currently working on finalizing a resource that I'm going to be handing out, and I want to share with you guys a little of what all that looks like. Welcome to my desk in my office. So I want to share with you guys the resource that I'm creating. This is only going to be for the community members. I am not posting this in my store. This is only something that you can get if you were to sign up and become a member within my community. So at the beginning of the year, I love doing things with genres. I think genres are really, really important. So I started to create a resource called Journey Through the Genres. And basically it's like a travel theme. And so one of the things that I have to do is, while creating the resource, I also do a lot of printing. I know every teacher, that entrepreneur out there probably does it just a little bit differently. Or even if you're not an entrepreneur and you're creating your own resources for your classroom, you might not do this step. I personally do it because I like to see what the end product is going to look like. But I have printed lots of different things that I have done as a trial and error. Because the product needs to make sure that it prints correctly, so that way it looks aesthetically, it's pleasing. I like things to look pretty. So what it is in this resource, the kids are going to receive a passport booklet. Within this passport booklet, they are going to go to traveling the genre. So in the stations, like in your classroom, you would have like 9 different stations. And then each station would be a genre. And the kids are going to basically look at postcards, and on the back of postcards, they're going to read it. They're going to analyze the different characteristics, like the common characteristics between the 3 different postcards, and then write characteristics for that genre. The whole purpose is for kids to really understand what the genre is. Okay, what are those characteristics that they're looking for? Well, I'll show you. So this is going to be an error right here. There are lines that you can see here. When I fold it, because I want them to create it as a booklet, you can see the line that comes out here. It didn't look good. When I tried folding it, boo. So then I had to go and make new corrections. So I made some updated corrections. From there, I was finally able to make a book. So here's kind of the sample of it. This is not what it's going to all look like, because I've made some changes with the front cover because I didn't like how small it looks. But on the inside, it's pretty darn close. So you can see here, that was an error. So that did not print out correctly. So I've already fixed that piece of it. But here's narrative nonfiction. Here's kind of the area where they can put characteristics. So each one would represent a characteristic. And then their kids are going to have stickers. So each sticker is going to be like a stamp in their passport that they've gone to that location. And it's like a Avery template that you could just print out onto these round stickers. You can have the page at their like station and the kids can just grab it and put it into their books. So now they would basically go through and fill out each of the different genres. What's nice is that teachers can basically take out genres, make sure that they have it customized to how they want to, teach it inside of their own classroom. But at the very end, they have kind of a reflection of my favorite genre spot. So they write just like a little journal entry of what was their favorite genre and why was that their favorite. Again, it's meant to be like a fun introductory beginning of the year. I don't want to put too much into it because of the fact that I don't want this to be like a really hard lesson at the very beginning of the year. It just makes kids like, you want to kind of feel the waters, basically. You're kind of just stepping into it to see how kids do, how do they talk with one another, how are they, writing information, how are they analyzing and discussing. There's a lot more other than this little book because the kids are going to have like directions with guiding questions, all of that, which I do need to print because I have to take pictures of all of this, which will happen in a bit. So I have this, but then I started working on postcards. Guys, another fail that was just like, So I had the postcard. This is kind of an example right here. So it's a full sheet of paper. And then I wanted it to just be able to fold, where you could fold it, glue it, and then just laminate it. So that way you can use it year after year, because I know you're printing in color. You don't want to waste that. But look at that. It was like printing, the picture was coming out not in the right spot. And then I tried cutting the edge and I didn't really love that because then it was cutting pieces off here. So finally, after making some adjustments, because this just takes forever to get it correct, this is kind of what it looked like. And then I fold it and I was able to just cut off a small bit at the top. And then in the back, here's kind of what it looks like. Now I have removed this line. It was there as a reference so that when I was typing the excerpt for the story, I didn't go past it. But that's kind of what it looks like. So now I can glue this, laminate it, and have this as an example. But that is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to spend a little bit of time just going through this product itself, and then I'm going to come back and show you guys some of the printing process and maybe even some of the pictures that I have to do. So very excited about this resource, but I got to get it done so that I can get it out to other people. Walter, who are you barking at? Huh? So lots of little things are happening in between some of these clips. We've gone to pick up Blaine, who was at my mother-in-law's for a while, and then I had to run to the store to get some Avery Circle labels because the product that I'm using or creating needs to have labels. Now, picking out labels is one of those things that it's such a challenge because the ones that I ended up purchasing are the only ones that are available in the store, which are Avery 8293 that come 20 circles per page. But the ones that I was originally looking to do were 30 per page, but those are not available in stores. So you have to purchase those online. So then the question for a creator is, do I do the 30 or do I do the 20 or do I do both? So that people can choose. I will most likely just end up doing both labels. That way, when teachers are like downloading this resource from my community, they can choose whether or not they want to do the 20 versus the 30. But for my pictures, I'm going to use this. So what I've done is I have been creating some of the labels. So I'll show you a few of them. This is fantasy. They're so flipping cute. Look how adorable that is. Then I have traditional literature. And then we have historical fiction. Excuse my husband. I'm going to show you guys and talk to you a little bit about what's happening inside of the studio office, but he's currently trying to put blinds on our windows, which I'll talk about. But so I've been creating the labels, but then I've also been working on finding excerpts from different genre texts to use for the back. So I wanted to use something authentic because to me there's more there's more value in using something that's authentic versus using something that is like me making it up. It just doesn't seem as real. So I have printed out a few versions here so you can see this is what the postcard is going to look like. So there's that. And then you have the back of the postcard, which is blank. This is the activity for the kids. And then I decided to go ahead and print so I could use this as a picture image, but I also have like a little banner. So you can print these out and then teachers can put them up on their bulletin board just to make it a little bit more fun, adds another element to it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm currently in my bedroom, but I'm in like my loom table. I call this my looming table because back here are all my yarns that I use to weave and loom, that kind of thing. So I like this table because it is a very light pine, and I like the way it looks on pictures. It's just been my preference lately. So I'm going to use this table. I've opened up the blinds so that there's a really beautiful like evening light that's coming in, and I'm going to try to take some pictures. I'm going to do some with my phone, and then I'm going to use this camera so that I can have some on my iPhone and some here. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then we'll chat a little bit about what's happening in the studio. First things first, teachers, always clean the lenses. It makes such a huge difference. So clean it off. Let's see what I'm looking at. Oh, the lighting is beautiful. Very happy with the image, how it ends up looking. So I still need to edit it and make it look a little bit better, increasing the whites, you know, doing the brightness and all of that. And I end up using Lightroom for it. But let me reduce my brightness here so you guys can see it. So that's going to be what the image looks like. I think it's very pretty. It just kind of ends up, everybody's taste is a little bit different. Some teachers won't like how I will take my images, these little flat lay images. Some teachers might. You're not going to please everybody, and I kind of realize that, so I go based off of what I like and then cross my fingers and hope that other teachers out there will like the same thing. So now that I've done that, I'm going to turn this camera off. I'm going to take a few images with this camera because the quality is just a little bit different, and then we'll chat office. All right. Back into the office / studio that we have. And I want to chat you guys through a little bit of what we're going to do, because in a second you're about to see a hot mess. But we've had some issues with the office, and it's mainly my fault. I'm looking at Trent as I say that, because I decided to rip the carpet out. We have a video of us doing that where we were doing Blaine's room, and we decided that we wanted to expose the hardwood floors because I think that they're beautiful and it's an older home, and I love the character of it. But when we did that, Trent knew this, but I was like, yeah, we'll figure it out. The audio in this room is now changed drastically. So we have been experiencing some audio issues with some of the equipment that we have kind of set up for our lives and for just video recording. And we were getting a lot of like buzzing noises in the background, and audio is like one of the hands down most important things over even like video quality. Audio is by far the most important, because you can't watch something where the audio is like buzzing and or you can't even listen to it when it's buzzing. So we were wanting to record a bunch of videos and we weren't able to do it because the audio was just struggling. And then we finally realized, we said, you know what, let's go ahead and let's just like soundproof the room. So we threw a bunch of blankets that we had inside of the basement that were just moving blankets. We put them up on the top rack, which basically holds down the equipment from the ceiling. That way we have plenty of floor space, because this room is pretty tiny. And then we ended up putting, you know, blankets on the side to create kind of this little boxed in area. And it worked. The audio sounded great. So basically it means that by ripping out the carpet, we have caused the issue of like really bad audio problems. So what we have done is we've bought actual audio blankets, which are white and black. So white on one side, black on the other side. It has grommets all the way around. And I'm gonna go ahead and like pop you around so that you guys can see what that looks like. Okay, so this is currently what our situation looks like. So we have these audio blankets. We went on ahead and did it on the white side facing down, so that way the room could still feel pretty light and bright. If we did it on the black, then it would feel super dark. And we've been basically zip tying them. So Trent has been zip tying them to this rack that we've created. I think it was about maybe almost 2 years ago that we made this rack on our ceiling. And that's going to help us allow to pull it nice and taut, so that way it can be really pretty and flat. So we have these blankets. We also have a much larger blanket that we can stick on the side of the like filming area. So this is a filming area. Please excuse the mess. But we can put it on this side and it basically creates this little box. Now, the problem is that this is really not enough along with this. So what we also got were these kind of hexagon looking panels, which are sound panels. And these are going to get posted above my like camera desk area. And then it's going to go where our light is. So this is our big light that we use. And it's normally tucked into this little nook area. And so we need to put those hexagon tiles on either side. Now we took the light out because we're also wanting to put blinds. Fun fact, when you have an old home, there's a lot of little weird quirky decisions that are made. And one of the quirky decisions, you hear the audio has already changed. One of the quirky decisions that was made was that they put a quarter round, which is like a rounded edge here. And so we had to remove it because we need a flat edge. So now we have to replace that quarter round because we did not realize that we were going to see the actual frame of the window. So now we got to place something there so that way we can put blinds in this great old home of ours. However, the other side, we do not need to do that. We actually have, these are nice and flat, so we can go ahead and put a blind on this window here, and that's just going to help with lighting as well. I did change out this here. Now it looks just so much better instead of it being all dark navy. But the office, going back to it, one of the things that we just have to do is really, now that we've figured out what our audio issues are, we've kind of had wires and everything dangling all over the place. We promise it's not dangerous. But now we can just start kind of tucking everything where it needs to go. We're going to cut off some of the pieces up here on the tile blankets, like all these extra little pieces from the zip ties, and start getting this back ready to start recording again, because I've got a lot of videos that I need to make. So that's what we're going to start working on now. Okay, so I can tell this is going to take us a little bit. So I am gonna save you from having to watch an entire montage of me like speed cleaning this because it's not gonna be enjoyable. So we're gonna go ahead and jump a little bit forward in time, and you're gonna see a little tour and an explanation of our studio slash office setup. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so we have been hit with a thunderstorm, which is why it's so much darker. And of course, it is a little bit later in the evening as I'm doing this little tour. Sad news, we did not get the blinds done. That is just going to be something that we get done on another moment. I did turn on my really big light that I have right here. It looks like a sun, just so that you guys can see the little office and all the different areas that I'm about to show you. Okay, so I'm going to turn around. So here's a door. The doors are right there in the corner, and when I turn over, this is going to be the view that you guys will typically see. So I have my bridging literacy binders. I need to finish printing out all of my other units that I have available now and get those placed there. So those are each of my units for each of the different grade levels. Each grade level has its own color, and then I keep all of my paper inside of this IKEA storage bin. So all of my colored paper, that's where I pull that from. In this corner, again, the part that you guys typically see, I have books, lots and lots of picture books, mainly because I love picture books and I want to be able to access them fairly quickly. So I keep those there. And then I have a very small collection of professional development books that I really love. And of course, I have my own book that I've written, Jumpstart Learning in Your Kids. Go and get it. It's fantastic. I've actually been reading my own book, and I feel like I say some really great things that are highlight worthy. Let me just say, I will put a link down in the description box so that you guys can go and check it out. It is available as an ebook and also as an audiobook right now. And then I have a few texts that are over here that are collections of short stories that I will use and pull randomly. So I keep those in that little basket. Okay, so moving from the view that you guys see, this is going to be where I sit whenever I am doing any recording. So we have a desk in the middle. The desk is one that can be lifted, so it can be a standing desk and a sitting desk. Most of the time it is a sitting desk, mainly because I have a lot of different pieces on it. So these are just buttons that allow me to switch different views. I have a screen in order to see myself. That's the camera that we use. And then I have up on top above me is going to be where I have the microphone, and then also a down view camera so that you guys can see whatever I'm doing on that desk. So that's kind of what's in this spot. I know the wires are still not perfect, and that's going to be okay. It is a work in progress. It will continue to be a work in progress as we make updates and changes to some of the equipment. But I am much happier with where it is right now. So that's this desk. We call this the filming desk because this is where I'm at whenever I'm doing any sort of recording. It's storming again, guys, so you're going to have to excuse me and excuse the window. Actually, let's go and check it out because I love storms. Oh, storms are so good. You can't see it. Oh, poop. Okay, so that's gonna be this view here and what I have up here. So I told you guys we built a rig. Basically, I call it a rig. It's not really a rig, but it's pipes that come down from the ceiling. So you can see it there. And it's one giant square that goes all the way around with one middle one that goes across. And again, that just allows us to hang things. So I have a green screen here that we can pull down at any time. It holds lights behind me, all the good things. Because again, it is a very tiny space. So going from, woo, that was very dizzying. Going from the door, these are going to be panels that we attempted to make. Notice I said attempted for sound, and it did not resolve everything. But then we have a closet. So here's just a small closet. I'm going to give you guys a peek because it is messy. but I'm gonna show it to you anyways. So we started redoing this closet a while back. We have a light inside of the closet. The printer is here, my husband's computer is here, and then we have a camera bag with some other equipment that we hang here. And then we built some shelves to help with some of the equipment. I have a file cabinet that's down here along with some items for teaching on the double and a bunch of different stands that we have. So that's what's inside of that closet. Oops, I forgot to turn the light off. All right, so next to the closet, just to kind of give you guys an idea, and where the filming desk is, I have another desk here, so right in front. So this little room has like a little cove, like a pushed in area. And on either side, we have two different desks. Now, one is for my husband, one is my desk. So my husband has the PC. This is where he will run everything that's live, video, everything comes off of this computer because it is a beast. We built it specifically for going live and filming really powerful video. So he has that. He has speakers on the side to kind of be able to hear everything. And then he has his headphones. He has his headphones on this side so he can just pull them off and work. And then we also have a little whiteboard over there for him to jot down notes or to make a to-do list for himself. So that's his desk area. Then in the middle, in this little pushed in area, you can see where here's my desk. It kind of comes in, there's the window. We have our very big light. I love this light. It is my favorite. I love that all I have to do is push a button. So that's what it looks like without the light on. And this will actually let me show you here. On this side, we are still in the process of building in a charging station. So that way we can charge batteries whenever we need to. And it's a very easy, handy way of doing that. So that's going to allow us to do that. We did go ahead and attach some of the sound panels up here. So we put 4 here, and then we have 2 on this side. Whoops, 2 over here. So the idea is that we're going to end up getting more just to help us a little bit more with sound, because there's a lot of echo that's happening here, but we also need to get a rug for that too. And hopefully that will help to minimize the bouncing of the sound on the walls. Okay, so moving on to this side, the important side, because this is where I work. This is gonna be my little work area on this side. So filming desk, Trent's desk, my desk. And on my desk, it's the exact same butcher block. We have the IKEA drawers, IKEA legs. Everything is pretty much the same as we have over here on this side. But I have the iMac is what I end up using. I have my Alexa here. And then I use all my podcast equipment is always set up here. So I have everything I need for when Michelle and I do our podcast recording. And just a bunch of other stuff that I end up putting on that side. I did make this little weaving. This was actually my first little weaving project that I did. So I hung it up there, and then I made these stars out of clay in my mother-in-law's pottery house. So we did that. And then I have some trinkets up here just because I like it. Another one of the sound panels that we created, and then we come back to the back of the room. So that's really it. There's not much else to my office other than that space. We did end up finishing up with the sound panels up here. We had to keep this one a little less taut because these arms are hanging down from them. So we need to be able to remove them and move them around. So we just kind of left it that way. But you can see these are nice and taut. We cut off all the excess from the zip ties, and it looks really, really good. And it sounds phenomenal in here. Sounds so much better than what it was. And hopefully with these sound panels, even here, the sound bouncing off will also help with that as well. But that is going to be my office. There you go, guys. So that is it. That is the end of the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little snippet into what it's like being a teacher entrepreneur and the business side of what I do, meaning what I do here on YouTube, social media, between bridging literacy community, creating products, all of those things. Now, please understand and recognize that this is only a little snippet of what teacher entrepreneurs do. There is so much more that goes on behind the scenes when it comes to like marketing, creating website designs, going into accounting, and all of the other pieces in between that. It's a lot. So kudos to all the teacher entrepreneurs out there who are killing it. For those of you who are wanting to look into becoming a teacher entrepreneur, I hope this kind of gave you a little bit of an insight into what it's like. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos of just little snippets like this of behind the scenes and how I go about planning and creating all of these different elements. And also just the studio and office space and what all goes into, you know, behind the scenes and what it looks like whenever we are going live or creating videos. So now you kind of see the whole view of what's happening instead of that little portion of me just being on the screen and seeing kind of my pretty little backdrop, or at least I think it's pretty. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help with the algorithm and just making sure that my video is performing well. So I appreciate it when you do that. Also make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time I go live or I upload a new video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and I will catch you all next time. Bye.